field as we welcome you into tonight's broadcast. Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders in the penultimate match for both of these teams tonight in the 2018 USL regular season. Both are not qualified for the playoffs, so playing for a bit of pride coming up this evening. And both sides looking to build heading into 2019. As we mentioned before, I'm Jeremy Poplin, that's Dave Saunders. And Dave, you know, we've mentioned a lot as we see Coach Ensign walking across the field that not only is this for pride, but there are a lot of individuals on both sides that are playing for contracts next season, trying to get as much minutes as they can to maybe improve themselves in the next couple of years, but there's still a lot to play for mentally between both of these sides.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, everybody's in the shop window for next season. You're absolutely right. And they want a job next season. And if you're a Roughnecks player, it's not been the best season to be involved with, just 3 wins. But yeah, you're out there. You want Coach Ensign, you know, to look at you and say, yeah, I want you back next season. The same as well for the opponents tonight.
Now, the opponents coming in, the Toros from Rio Grande Valley, bit of a hot streak, 3-1-1 over their last 5. Had an impressive win over Fresno in their last match at home. Of course, their last 2 matches here tonight in Tulsa, then on the road at San Antonio against their regional rivals. Playing better football here as of late. Tulsa coming off of the 2-0 loss there themselves to Reno, and a chance here to end the season on a high note. And we expect maybe a few differences in the lineup from what we've seen, Dave, at least from what we've seen early. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of a 3-man back line for the Roughnecks this evening.
You and I were looking at Coach Ensign's 11, and the way we see it, it will be a back 3 with Vukovic and possibly Morton, G pushing on the right-hand side. You know, just to try something a little bit different. It'd be interesting. Also interesting to me, you throw in the statistic with Rio Grande Valley, who've beaten the league leaders, Orange County, Pop, twice this season. 2-0 wins, home and away. So they're a pretty decent team. I think it's going to be a good matchup tonight.
The all-time series between these two sides, 3-1-2 in favor of the Tulsa Roughnecks as we get set to see the players make their way out of the tunnel and out on the pitch here this evening. Now, there is a threat of some rain in the area. We're keeping an eye on that. We've been pretty fortunate here around the stadium in downtown Tulsa that has not been the case. Now, in the surrounding areas, there has been a lot of moisture here in the last hour or so. So we feel like that we've got a pretty good window right now of not having that threat of rain in the area. As you see the officials make their way out this evening, and we'll take a look at the starting 11 for the home side first. And as we were mentioning, Dave, we could see maybe a back 3 that's there, but some of your initial thoughts on what we'll see tonight from this starting 11 from the Roughnecks side.
Well, I mean, if you look up top, you know, Michael Gamble has had a good few games in his last few games. Eti Tavares will play wide on the right, wearing 7. He's an exciting player, arguably the quickest player on the Roughnecks. And then, of course, the man who's represented his country for El Salvador, and that's Joachim Rivas. So an exciting 3 up top, and as you say, probably three centre-backs tonight for the Roughnecks.
Rio Grande Valley starting 11, and one man that we'll keep an eye on wearing number 11 tonight is Chuy Enriquez, who is the leading goal scorer for the Toros with 6. He had quite the performance in their last match. He scored the opening goal, completed 85% of his 52 passes, and had an assist on the match winner as well. We'll keep an eye on him, Dave.
We certainly will keep an eye on him. They've got some exciting players. They do share the goals around, and also they've got a settled back 4.
We are almost set for action here tonight as we are getting set for the national anthem here tonight in what will be the next to last opportunity to see the Roughnecks in town wearing their white kits there with Osage Casino on the front. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll be set with the kickoff next here on Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click, TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
Makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
Can you get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it?
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice and cozy.
Right,
and,
exactly.
I mean, I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/power hours.
Your Tulsa Roughnecks are back for the final home match of the 2018 season this Saturday at 1 Oak Field. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. as the Roughnecks take on the Seattle Sounders 2. The first 500 fans in the stadium will receive a Roughnecks pop socket courtesy of Osage Casino. Join in on the fun and visit roughnecksfc.com to purchase your tickets. Vamos, Tulsa!
Hi. You're picking up your SUV, right?
Yes.
Cool. Well, we not only fixed the dents, but we added a few things. Built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi, Apple CarPlay compatibility, rear seat reminder, teen driver technology, and a 7-inch diagonal touchscreen. We also painted it.
Whoa.
This isn't our car.
It's a Chevy.
You're right, this is the Chevy Equinox. All those features come standard.
It's pretty much everything mine's not.
What more could you want?
Get almost $4,500 below MSRP on this 2018 Equinox LT when you finance with GM Financial. Chevy Drives, Oklahoma.
What defines you? Your pain, your illness, your injury. At Hillcrest, we see it a little differently. Your hope defines you. Your strength, your willingness to fight no matter what the odds. Because we believe every life is worth fighting for.
All right, welcome back to 1 Oak Field, and we welcome you into downtown Tulsa for the matchup tonight between the visitors from Rio Grande Valley and the home side, the Tulsa Roughnecks. Our referee tonight in the middle will be Danielle Chesky. Assistants tonight, Kevin Locke and Jennifer Garner. And our fourth official is Wade Beal, who will have to deal with both coaches here at the halfway line at the pitch. Our third member of our crew is Brady Ballou, who's down on pitch side. Brady, how's the pitch holding up so far? It looks like it's in great shape.
Oh, it's in great shape, guys. We got a little bit of rain during that warm-up period, and that just means one thing. We've got a slick surface. It's every player's dream. The ball's moving a little bit quicker, the play moves smoother, and the tackles come faster. I'm looking forward to a great contest tonight.
What are some of your keys to tonight for the Roughnecks side, Brady?
Well, for the Roughnecks, we've kind of seen them really grow into the way they want to play lately. We've seen them getting wide. We've seen guys like Vukovic putting in service after service, and now we're at that point of the season where the players expect to get that service and then ultimately putting those chances away. For RGV, it's Texas. Texas is known for just breeding special players. Now guys like Clint Dempsey making their way out of the game. This is making room for the next batch of talent to come in. So you're going to see a lot of fun players tonight.
Dave, I want you to follow up on the point that Brady made about Vukovic, because tonight is his 24th start. He's put in close to 2,000 minutes already. He has 2 goals on the season, but I think what Brady says is exactly right about Vukovic. He has turned into maybe one of the better facilitators of offense that we've seen for the Roughnecks, and not only that, but the guy has just turned into a blue-collar type of guy here for the Roughnecks, which he's been pretty much his entire career. But he had a lot of expectations on his shoulders when he came in here, and he's lived up to them so far.
He certainly has. He took a little while to get going this season, and on a few occasions, you think, well, maybe a better delivery from him. But I think you're right, and I think Brady's right, that he's become a really important player for Coach Hensian. The 2 goals he scored, 2 very confident penalties in consecutive games. But I think tonight he's going to be able to push on a little bit further, maybe as a wing back. And you'll see that trusty left foot getting some good ball into service, into the likes of Rivas and Gamble, of course.
The last 2 times that these teams played, back on July 7th, there at Rio Grande Valley, it was a 1-1 draw, tightly played game earlier this season, and you expect and should expect another similar type of contest here tonight. Coach Hensian for the Roughnecks said we have to find a way to produce goal-scoring opportunities while not conceding bad goals defensively, and that's kind of been the story, quite frankly, for the Roughnecks this entire season, is conceding bad goals in bad situations. And you had that happen again where they gave up 2 first-half goals against Reno, and outside of those 2 goals, I think Dave, we've seen opportunities for the Roughnecks where they've dominated the style of play. They've dominated possession in a lot of the games here over the last month of the season. It's just been those moments where they've conceded, and it's been maybe at the worst time possible for some of those goals.
Yeah, soft goals has been a story of the season for the Roughnecks. As you say, of late, they haven't done that. Maybe the pressure's been off, you know, and we all know where they are in the league. And they've dominated possession in games, and they have been scoring a few more goals. But it's been soft goals throughout the season that is part of the reason why they are where they are in the league.
We are underway. We would like to welcome those of you watching in on ESPN Plus and Cox Your View here locally. Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders, and Brady Ballou pitch side, bringing you tonight's call. Toros will start here early with the possession. Now through the center of the pitch, and typically we see both teams take the first 10 minutes or so to settle in to their style, and Chewy gets his first touch on the night and quickly gives it up. There's the captain, Wharton, in the center of the circle. Adams now, and look at this methodical build-up here through the center of the pitch for Rio Grande Valley. Roughnecks do take it away, and now their first bit of possession, and a ball tried to play down the line, comes off the back heel. And Michael Gamble will now leave this throw in near midfield.
Looks to me that Coach Ensign has sprung a bit of a surprise, and Parrish G is playing way up there on the left wing at the moment. Here's Tavares down the right, though.
This is something that has been important to the Roughnecks early, is getting Tavares involved as early as possible. Last home match, we saw that, and he had a brilliant performance. Quickly down the line, here's Chewy. Little slot ball that's played there. Roughnecks fortunate, leaks free to the backside, still alive. Square ball attempt there inside the box, and now a foul, and the Roughnecks living dangerously here early as Rio Grande Valley, in all intents purposes, Dave, should have more than likely finished that one. They had the numbers.
You've taken the words right out of my mouth, actually. Quite frankly, they should be 1-0 into the lead. We'll see a replay, I'm sure, in just in a few seconds. And really, they should be 1-0 up. It was a great sweeping move that they cut right through the defence, and it should have been a finished goal there. But alas, the Roughnecks get away with it.
Unselfish there from Rio Grande Valley. And maybe one of those instances should have decided to be a tad bit more selfish, and they might find themselves in the lead here early. But the Roughnecks dodge one early, missed chance on the road. Trying to play this one over the top. Unlikely to do so. Joaquin Rivas was in the vicinity. Serta comes way out to the edge of the box. Looping ball over the top. Assistance flag is up here on the near side. I'm going to go back to Serta for a moment, because Serta had 11 saves in that loss to Reno last weekend. Also stopped at PK. So Serta, as of late, has been on the top of his game and really kept the Roughnecks alive in that game there in the second half.
Oh, absolutely. If it hadn't have been for him, it could have been an embarrassing scoreline. We all know the prowess of Reno's attacking ventures anyway, but Fabian Serta really kept them in it, and he's been great. 100-plus saves this season.
Sullivan looks up the line, has Enriquez. Enriquez will now test the Roughnecks there. Thought that he got clipped. He hit the turf. Pops back up immediately. Now Wharton. Unlucky there as Chewy continues to make his point to the center. Thought that he was fouled. Roughnecks go quickly with the throw in, unable to keep possession. And now back to Nelson, the keeper.
Does seem to be that Rivas is playing up there in a 4-4-2 with Michael Gamble, which is slightly unusual for Rivas. He may have to play a little bit more central tonight.
Bad giveaway there from Wharton, looking for Aguilar. Back to Serta, they'll spray it wide now. Nice pressure applied here from Rio Grande Valley. here in the Roughnecks defensive third. Shuey turns away through the corner of the 18 now. Left-footed ball looking for the far post. Had a player that was there. Good job by the Roughneck defender, though, to be marked up. And they'll try to play it long, but this one trickles out over the touchline. Roughnecks now with a throw-in.
Yeah, RGV look very good coming forward, don't they? They're quick, they're decisive, and they've cut the Roughnecks open a few times already inside this first 5 minutes. So look, a good attacking side. Roughnecks going with their 4-4-2. Caught me a little bit by surprise when I looked at the lineup, but definitely Paris G is playing on that left-hand side.
Vukovic finds Mirkovic. Morton now as they test the near side. Good to see Jonathan Levin back there in the 11 as well.
Yeah, good to see Jonathan Levin back. He plays that number 6 role, and he'll be sitting in there with Mirkovic trying to break things up.
Vukovic slots it through. Here's Paris G. Cuts towards the byline. Ball came off the edge of the boot of one of the defenders. Easy there for Nelson, who has it quickly on the outlet pass. And watch the change of pace here for Rio Grande Valley. They want to go, and they want to go in a hurry. Had it knocked away, Levin. Gamble now, center circle. Square ball for Vukovic. Taking his time is Vukovic. Look to slot that ball centrally, but Rivas with the run, and now quickly to the opposite end. Roughnecks have to get back in a hurry, and it's a good job there by Munoz cutting down that opportunity, because Carlos Small thought that he was going to go on a direct line and try to go at Serta, but Munoz got back in a hurry.
Yeah, Small, 3 goals this season. He's quick, isn't he? He's quick, and he makes those runs.
Well played ball in over the top, Herrera.
Yeah, Mirkovic is holding his hand up there and saying, I put my friend Mr. Serta in a little bit of a tight spot there, and all Serta could do was kick it away, really. Throw into RGV and deep in the Roughnecks territory.
Deep corner, and they'll leave it. Matter of fact, the center will push them a little bit deeper into the corner. Aguilar looking for some movement, has Cabrera. There is not much space at all for the Roughnecks to be able to operate, Dave.
And that is credit the opposition. They're really shutting the Roughnecks down, including Fabian Serta there, the goalkeeper. They have to make their space tonight, the Roughnecks.
Mirkovic handled that well, does find Levin. Here's Morton. There's still pressure coming from the backside. Now they're just surrounding Roughnecks players. It's making those diagonal passes extremely difficult right now. Roughnecks are going to have to tighten up because of the amount of space that, or lack of space, that RGV is giving them right now. Those long passes are going to be that much more difficult. Warden plays it wide, looking for Small. Couldn't get a great touch on it. It was Small. Ball played in from the back line. Serta has it here in the 9th minute from One Oak.
Quite interesting, isn't it? It's almost like 2 old-fashioned 4-4-2s playing against each other here. Don't often see that now. I know there's a lot can be said about formations being much more fluid these days within the game, but it is very much both sides going for 4-4-2, and at the moment not much goalmouth activity, although RGV have had that very early chance they should have put away.
Leaves it for G. Paris, left-footed curling ball there, looking for Tavares. Defender did well. Shuey comes away. Has Levin in front of him. Splits the 2 defenders, tries to play it over the top. Small got tangled up. He turned and looked to Chesky, looking for a call there. I think he just got tripped up by the heels of the Roughnecks back line. By the way, I see you, Brady Ballou, with that touch there on that wayward ball.
I still got it. Despite what the rumors and the tabloids are saying, I've still got it.
Brady, first 10 minutes, what are your thoughts?
Well, you guys kind of hit on it earlier. Both teams applying that high pressure. Now, I think RGV is applying that pressure more effectively at this point in the game, which means they're spacing behind for the Roughnecks. You'll get a good look here of Paris G, and he's going to unlock Rivas off that back shoulder right there. That's exactly what we're talking about. So it's going to be moments like that where for the Roughnecks it's stringing together these small little passes only to unlock the big one in behind. So look forward to guys like Vukovic spraying that ball in behind earlier rather than later as the game goes on.
Yeah, and that's where Eti's going to be big too, because he's filling in that spot there directly behind Rivas on those balls there that are curling through the backside of the box, Dave. And that's twice now that we've seen Eti be close to getting there. Maybe just a tad bit better on the service that's there as RGV to the opposite end. Small. Good job by the back line there. Not allowing any space at all. It was 3v1 there for a minute. Somehow Small still comes away with it. Just has it there kind of parked in the box. Curling ball there, knocked down. And then finally played out of danger for the Roughnecks back line.
Yeah, they're very intricate in and around the box, aren't they, RGV? Very impressed with them so far in this game. And they're running the midfield at the moment. Jonathan Levin, to be fair to me, hasn't played for a good few games. Finding it hard to get into the game at the moment. It'll take him a few minutes to get accustomed to playing alongside there with Mirkovic in the central midfield. But RGV are dominating, for me, the middle of the park.
Sullivan. This ball almost made it through. Tavares has that one taken away. Aguilar. Mirkovic was draped all over the top there of Pablo. Foul on the Roughnecks here, 12 minutes in.
Of course, it's not our first Oklahoma-Texas matchup today, is it, Pop? We've seen a very exciting football game.
What a game the Red River rivalry was. Just telling you guys, Oklahoma down by 21 points in 10 plays. Incredible comeback that ended up short. Curling ball there, and Serta just waited on it. Took that bounce directly in front of him, played it quite well. And how about this outlet pass? Can Rivas get there in time? He will. That ball was slow right before the byline. Has some help if he wants it. Uses it now. Paris G, square ball there. It's tried to leave it. Little flick on. Trying to find Tavares on the backside. Just unlucky there from Mirkovic.
Yeah, we don't see Mirkovic up near the area too many times. He's very much a sitting midfielder, but he just tried to flick there. Couldn't find him.
That's why I hesitated for a moment. It's not very rare that you see 18.
Right.
Not necessarily what you would refer to as a box-to-box guy. He very rarely is that high. Plays it through. Enriquez wishes he had better. Both hands go to the top of the head as it ends up in the back of the stands. But he's going to continue to be focal point for the offense tonight for Rio Grande Valley. Leading goal scorer for them with 6 goals so far on the season.
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? Man in shot there. He tricks his way down the left-hand side. And he's giving Josh Morton, who's playing right back tonight, a real handful tonight. They're very good going forward, RGV, and at the moment they've kept the back door shut against the Roughnecks as well.
Chewy, almost 2,000 minutes on the season. Will eclipse that tonight. If you're a fan of the Toros, you've got to feel pretty good, Dave, about how not only they've opened up here, but also how they've performed here over their last 5 matches of the season.
Yeah, 3 wins out of the last 5, and the Roughnecks know what it's like to go to Reno and get beat, and that's what happened to RGV. But apart from that, it's been great in the last 5 games. They just faltered a bit in the middle of the season, didn't they? You know, looking at them now, you wonder why they're not in the top 8 of this league. But, yeah, they've responded well, albeit a little bit too late.
$34 points total on the year. Pressure there applied by Gamble, forces the turnover there from Nelson.
I mean, it could be that both teams have got, you know, nothing to play for, but they're really out there fighting for every ball, aren't they? Both teams. It's a good game, 0-0, but it's a good game, intriguing game.
I think it's taken to about now for Tulsa to deal with that press that we've seen from RGV, and now it seems that there's a bit more space that they're electing to use.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about the possession stats later on, but it's unusual, isn't it? And it recently, okay, the Roughnecks low in the league, but they have dominated, as we said, possession in many games. And this is quite unusual to see a team come to One Oak and kind of, you know, dictate what's going on in this first 16 minutes.
58% for RGV so far through 16 minutes played. Roughnecks would like to give a special thank you to Soccer City in Tulsa, their official partner of the 2018 Roughnecks. Long ball there. Rivas was tucked in between the 2 defenders.
Yeah, Connor Donovan with a tremendous clearance there. That was the ball in behind the back, wasn't it? But Connor Donovan threw himself at it and cleared it extremely well.
Yeah, he was behind Donovan and in between Kyle Adams was Rivas. Patience on the ball growing a bit for Tulsa. Paris, Mirkovic, Gamble. Back to Mirkovic. Curling ball. Can Vukovic get there in time? He cannot. Nice build up and right idea. Just didn't have the type of execution that you would want on it. Chewy's there in time. Tavares tracking him. Cuts to the inside. Brilliant defensive play there from Eti Tavares to pick the pocket. Just biding his time. That's a dangerous ball and a giveaway. Roughnecks have to be careful. RGV looking to strike first. Here's Chewy towards the byline. Left-footed ball curling towards the back post. That one, no danger at all.
No, nothing doing there at all. But he is the man, isn't he, Enrique, who is the danger down the RGV left. But Tavares getting back well and helping out Josh Morton, which he's got to do and what you have to do in a 4-4-2.
Rivas ball picked off Warden. Enriquez one more time.
Rivas is a good enough player, but he is playing in a slightly different position tonight,
yes, he
as I've
is.
alluded to.
Roughnecks showing signs of their own press here as a foul on the far touchline. Gives us an opportunity to remind you that Select is the official soccer ball of the USO. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Little bump to the outside for Small. Cuts to just the edge of the box. Right-footed ball there for the oncoming run. And Pereira hits it with his left. It was well wide of frame.
Well wide of frame from Pereira, but a beautiful little flick from our man Enrique there to put Small in. It was a really nice flick.
Absolutely, and Pereira's running onto that ball. Didn't wait for it. Dangerous area to give him some space. Levin in there battling for that. Comes away with a foul.
Yeah, and Jonathan Levin, you used the right word. He is a battler in there, isn't he? Alongside Mirkovic. And as I said, he hasn't played for a good few games. Just coming back from an injury. And he's feeling his way into the game. Everything he's done has been good, but occasionally he's been bypassed because of the quick feet and good play from the central midfield of RGV.
Just the 12th start for Jonathan Levin this year. You mentioned he's battled the injury bug. Well done for Morton to try to keep that one alive as much as possible. Gamble spins away from it. Quickly to the opposite end, transition game. Aguilar had a steam. Just played across the box, off of the deflection, back out. And a wasted ball there from RGV here in the 22nd minute.
Yeah, wasted ball in the end. Credit Jonathan Levin, the man we've just been talking about. Getting back there and getting a good solid clearance on that one. And now Fabian Serda can take the goal kick.
As a matter of fact, Jonathan Levin, after missing time with that foot injury, the last game that he played, July 7th at Rio Grande Valley.
In the 1-1 draw.
In the 1-1 draw.
Long time. He's a thoroughly nice young man. And we wish him well, and good to have him back in a Roughnecks shirt.
It's got to be frustrating.
I think frustrating is the word, isn't it? Because he just is an infectious character, and I don't think he's enjoyed being... No professional soccer player likes being on the bench, of course, or not even being able to make the bench. But he's come back, and there he is in the central midfield. Just saw our caption there as well about Fabian Serda. 115 saves on the season now, Pop.
The ever colorful Fabian Serda. His 29th start of the season this evening. Morton has his hands full. Just backtracking in that defensive posture, Dave, keeping his hips low and square. Does great, just enough with a little poke to knock it away.
Good defending.
Tavares, good hustle from him.
Yeah.
Just enough for a touch, and Roughnecks will send this to the other end of the pitch to allow themselves to recuperate. Try to form their line back up. That was catamount for Tavares to get there, and that's what you talked about earlier in the tracking back, and here he is. A little bit of space in front of him, has an overlapping run with Rivas. That was a difficult angle for Rivas. Good defending as well from Connor Donovan to cut down the angle, and the Roughnecks will benefit here.
Yeah, Tavares will wish he just had that one back, Brady Blue, because he just didn't put the right ball in. We'll come to Brady in a minute for Rivas, and it just meant it was difficult for Rivas.
It's a Metro PCS corner from the Roughnecks. Not much on the header at all from Josh Morton.
Great throw out there.
And Nelson had to get everything on it. He fell to the surface after the force on that, and referee now will call the foul.
Yeah.
Halts play.
Good refereeing. Tried to let it flow, didn't get the advantage, brings it back. Just bringing Brady in. Brady, I see that Tavares and G have switched wings. I think we're just having a few difficulties getting hold of Brady there, but Tavares has gone on the left now, Pop, G on the right, and I think that will be a more of a balance. Paris G, we know, has played right back for much of the season. He's now going to be on the right, Tavares on the left.
Yeah, I think that's much more of a comfort as well for Paris. We'll get Brady's thoughts here in a moment.
Tavares, we can see there's the foul. The referee tries to play advantage.
Well, that was a well-struck ball. And Serta was to his left, had to track back to the right as it was curling. Dipped over the top of the bar, well struck. And maybe if that one is just a few yards out further, RGV might find themselves in the lead.
Yeah, it was dipping, wasn't it? It was just... Soda, I think, did have it covered, but it's a great end-to-end game. Can't take your eyes off this one.
Mirkovic has plenty of time, center of the pitch. Finds Morton. Paris now. One-touch ball back to Morton. Roughnecks will use this opportunity here to just kind of probe and look for that run. Driven ball here, settled by Paris G. Right-footed ball sneaks through all the defender. Michael Gamble, I think he came off of him, but the defender, Connor David, we'll have to see on a replay here from Harsco. What happens here, Dave? Oh, he just mishit it. I think he tried to head it up and back and away, and it just kind of skipped off the top of his head, and Gamble was right there, caught him by surprise.
Yeah, correct decision from the officials again, and a great delivery from Paris G, who's, as we've just been talking about, has gone on the right-hand side, and that's a familiar sight here at One Oak, that Paris G can deliver great balls in from the right-hand side. It was a great low ball in, and as we said, it just caught Michael Gamble by surprise. I think the defender was there as well. It's one of those that comes too quickly to you as a striker. But here the Roughnecks are probing again down this right-hand side with Paris G. But RGV for the danger. I think it's a good move by Coach Enzian to swap wings here for Eti Tavares and Paris G. And I think we'll see some good deliveries in from Paris G. The other thing about Vukovic, we haven't really seen him able to get forward to get those deliveries in. So it's important that Tavares does that from the left-hand side.
Yeah, only forward a few times here in the 28th minute for Vukovic. Speaking of the young man, there he is, settles.
He
lost his balance. He did think about it. I don't know whether that was going to be a shot or he was looking to send that ball across the box, but that little bit of hesitation there, I think, threw him off for a bit. The fans wanted a foul. I thought that was the proper call. I didn't think that it was warranted.
I'm with you. I think the referee gets it absolutely spot on again.
Here we see on the replay.
I think he just loses his feet here. That's not a foul.
Yeah, he got that one leg tangled up there, but not worthy of a foul. It was Andres Cabrera who he was tangled up with.
Having done my refereeing this morning, the referees are never wrong, Pop. Always right.
You might be the, well, I can't say the only person, because most people that have officiated might feel that way.
I'm telling you, it's a tough, tough job. It's a tough job. Everybody sees it differently, but I think the officials have done a great job so far.
Bit too high for Vukovic. Well done there from Tulsa to win that throw.
Yeah, it was Munoz. We've hardly mentioned his name, but that was a great tackle, putting a lot of pressure, and there's an offside against Michael Gamble.
Yeah, Gamble stood there, let the ball played off of him. He knew he was in the offsides position. Danielle Chesky, just saw her, the referee tonight. Tulsa has settled in so much, Dave. As a matter of fact, possession now has fallen quite a bit. 48% now for Tulsa.
And in recent games, Roughnecks fans watching this game will tell you, that hasn't been a problem this season. They've dominated possession, especially in their home games.
They dominated the lion's share of possession back on the July 7th match. Gamble working well with Paris G. Michael Gamble, too far for him.
Yeah, just took a touch too much there, Michael Gamble. But one thing you can always say about him, he will never let his head go down. He'll always work. He's grown into this season, and he has really been liked and preferred by Coach Henshin as the kind of lone striker, although you could say Rivas is up there with him tonight, but he never, ever lets his head go down and works so hard for the team.
Saw there the 3 goals that Gamble scored. His last goal back on August 29th in the 2-1 loss at Swope. Scored his very first professional goal this year, Dave. 1-1 draw with Reno. He comes over from the Wake Forest powerhouse. Mirkovic with a ball that's picked off.
Yeah, you didn't see Mirkovic give the ball away too much. That's quite a rarity, but he gave it away that time, put the Roughnecks under a little bit of unnecessary bother, but pressure.
Roughnecks were fortunate there that Enriquez stumbled after that giveaway. Warden. Wide is the Toros now. Looking to try to link up, trying to find Small in the box.
Yeah, that was an easy take for Fabian Soda there. He'd be pleased to have got that one.
Rivas fighting just enough to keep possession. Tavares at an angle. Gamble on the run, leaves it for Tavares. Tavares contact. Tavares went down. Popped back up immediately. We'll get a look at it here on the replay.
Again, with the naked eye, I would say that is the correct decision. I don't think there was a foul on Eti Tavares.
Levin tried to take advantage of some space there. Warden was just draped all over him.
And I like Eti Tavares' attitude as well, Pop. He didn't argue with anybody. He just got up, as you said, sprung straight up and got on with it.
Yeah, to the naked eye, I would agree with you.
The Roughnecks have really grown into this game, as you said a minute or so ago. They're now knocking the ball around. I mean, you've still got to be wary of the RGV threat, haven't you? But here's Paraschia on the ball, and they're keeping possession.
And they've really kind of nullified that threat here over the last couple of minutes. Tavares tracks it down. Will turn and face up. 2 defenders crashing around him. Vukovic, curling ball there, played out of the box. And the Roughnecks now a corner deep, or excuse me, a throw in deep.
Yeah, and Eti Tavares does need 2 defenders around him. He's so quick and tricky in the box there, and he's got Vukovic behind him.
Back to the goal from Rivas. Curling ball, Paris G.
Wonderful delivery, great header. A few oohs from the crowd because it wasn't that far over the bar. You see a great delivery here. Look at Rivas, works it out well to Tavares, and this is one of the perfect crosses that comes in. And it was good defending as well, because Paraschia didn't have a free header by any means there, just over the bar.
But the placement of that ball from Tavares, Dave, you've got to be near perfect in order to link up there, and he was.
A great ball, great delivery. It was low, it was just about the right pace on it. And on another day, that could have been the opening goal of the game.
Enriquez gives it up to Warden. Sullivan looking to go down the line. Morton just bodied off Chewy.
Yeah, good defending, Josh Morton. He's been playing more of a centre-back recently. He's now playing right-back tonight because of Parashi playing as well. I think if you're looking for bright spots of the season for the Roughnecks, Josh Morton would come to mind.
Absolutely. USL made history this past weekend as the league passed 2.5 million in total attendance for the 18 season. Thank you to all the fans who have made this the highest attended lower division season in North American soccer history. Skips there off of Kyle Adams.
Yeah, important header that, Adams. And yeah, the USL goes from strength to strength. Fans up and down the country enjoying these games.
Gamble, upset with himself. Created an opportunity though, Dave.
Did all the hard work, didn't he? Got himself into the space. He's looking to the sky now because he knows that that was an opportunity. He does really well here. Skips past the defender. There it is. And then just, I think, got in two minds. Shall I hit it or shall I chip it towards the top corner? And I think in the end he did neither. And he's still annoyed with himself now, even a good few seconds after the effort.
Warden leaves for Serta. Played on for Small. Serta's going to have to come off of his line. Has it. Slides, protects himself as well.
Yeah, good goalkeeping from the Chilean.
Who will break the ice first here at One Oak? Both teams have had opportunities, seemingly Tulsa more over the past 20 minutes or so.
Well, when both teams are eliminated from the playoffs, you know, you're not playing for a point, are you, Bob? You're going to win the game. And so it should be a good, intriguing last 8 minutes of the first half and a really cracking second half.
Big news this week and over the past week for USL. New brands build upon the identity that it established since the start of 2015, and new streamlines to the league and the structure that will usher in a new era for the USL.
Yeah, exciting times. And it's following a sort of English league system, isn't it?
Talk more about those at halftime. And as this game progresses, Vukovic ran around the ball to set himself up there with his left, Dave, and see both hands out wide now.
Yeah, I think he's apologising there. And again, just trying to force it a little bit. And I think probably Coach Henson will say at half-time to the home side, don't force things. Just keep playing, keep possession. The chances will come.
Vukovic tried to set himself up there, didn't he, Brady, with that left?
This is in no way to insult the young man, but it reminded me of, you know, when you're a kid and you're trying to really, you're watching the kids kind of maneuver their way around the ball. I felt for him there because I know what he was trying to do. He's trying to make something happen for his team in the 39th minute. The guy's doing everything he can, and kudos to him for keeping a great attitude after, you know, that shot.
Pressure is applied there to Carlos Small. Roughnecks will take advantage of it here. We'll settle with the chest there from Gambles. Vukovic one more time. Left-footed ball there looking. It was too much for Joaquin Rivas, who had a diagonal run right through the penalty area. Easy there for Michael Nelson, who has it in his grasp. See here on the replay. Yeah, just a bit much.
Yeah, in the end, a nothing ball, wasn't it? Easy for Nelson in the RGV goal.
Rivas Has options to the outside with Tavares. 2 steps inside of the box there. Missed chances. Rivas fell down. Still, though, Tavares gets clipped from behind.
Yeah, a couple of players. The captain, Wharton's in there with the referee saying, you know, was it a foul? I have to say, again, I'm not sure it was a foul on this one. The referee calming everybody down. Just going back to the previous play from Eddie Tavares, there were 5 white shirts in the box. The Roughnecks really pushing to get a goal before half-time, but it is going to be a free kick. Here's the replay. Judge for yourselves here. Was that a foul? I think probably looking at it again, I have to say well done to the referee, because I think there was a little foul in there, Pop.
An extremely dangerous area. Michael Nelson still barking out orders from in between the pipes. Here's Vukovic. Vukovic takes a deep breath, shoulders down, approaches the ball. It's there. And a great diving save from Nelson to get a piece of it, to keep it level here in the first half.
A fine, fine save. I thought Vukovic would have gone top right as the keeper looks at the free kick, but he didn't. He went low. Here's the corner.
Metro PCS corner. Tavares tried the back heel. Gamble was in the vicinity. Levin will track this one down near midfield. .42nd minute. Munoz was fouled. I want to remind everyone as well that voting for September's USL Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, and Save of the Month, it began on Thursday and will run through the entire weekend. You can have your say on which players should take home the award. Tulsa seemingly getting closer, Dave, to being able to break through here, and what a difference that it would be if they could find a way to find the back of the net here in the final moments of the first half. So many times this season they have conceded to close out the first half.
Yeah, they've, as we've said, they weathered the early storm. They've come into this. They've had a couple of opportunities. Paris G's header was just over. We've had the Vukovic free kick, and they're certainly putting a lot of players inside that box. But you never count RGV out. I mean, they are a quick side on the break, and that's the way they've had to play, because the Roughnecks have dominated in the last, 15, 20 minutes, the possession.
Rivas cuts to the inside, looking for Gamble. Boy, he had to thread the needle. But good job from Connor David, who just slid over a couple of steps to his left, take away the advantage.
I think if Rivas had that back, he would have put Paris G in down the right. But as you said, he went for the harder option and was frustrated with himself. He didn't find Michael Gamble.
Paris G had plenty of space to himself. Unable to keep that one in play. Warden runs into Chewy almost, and a foul here. This will be right outside the edge of the box, just a few paces to the left from directly on the corner.
Yeah, it's very wide, isn't it? But it's an opportunity that you would love to take just before, with 45 seconds to go till we see the board. So a chance for the men in orange to get forward. And it's the captain Wharton on this one.
Cabrera just had his legs clipped out from underneath him. Big opportunity for the Toros. Low driven ball that's there. Levin, it came off of him. Still a corner here for RGV. don't believe we'll have any time added. And they elect to go short. Chewy's ball kind of looped there into the box. Finally played out by the Tulsa back line. And that will do it for the first half as Daniel Chesky signals the end, and we are scoreless at the end of the first 45 with Tulsa and RGV. Both sides, Dave, I felt at times had opportunities. Tulsa at the end of the half with the majority of the possession at 55%, 44 for RGV. And after that early high press on the road that RGV was implementing, Tulsa really settled in, and I thought there until the very end there on the free kick, and maybe a few chances here or there, I thought Tulsa looked the better of the two sides, especially over the last 25 minutes of the first half.
I couldn't agree more. They grew into the game. You know, it was an explosive start from the away side. They came here to really get on top early. They should have scored very early on. They didn't. I think it was inside the first 2 or 3 minutes. And then in the end, the half has been sort of won a little bit, if you like, if you're doing it on points, by the home side. It's an intriguing game. It's 0-0. It'd be a very brave person to predict the outcome of this one. What we can say for sure, both sides are going to go for it in the second half. So don't go away, folks. Stay with us because it should be a great second half, Pop.
We'll take a timeout. Halftime show coming up next, where we will learn more about the USL and the rebranding that took place earlier this week. We'll come back with more next from the halftime show from One Oak Field.
The hotel is your premier venue for total entertainment. Whether it's date night, game night, guys night, or ladies night out, it's always your night. Make it unforgettable at Osage Casino Hotel in Skytook and Ponca City.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
Makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
I can get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it.
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice, cozy.
Right,
and,
exactly.
I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/Power Hours.
And RGV are scoreless here at the end of the first half. Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders with you. Brady Ballou down on the sidelines. And Dave, some of your thoughts on what we saw in the first several moments of the first half.
I was very, very worried if for the Roughnecks fans watching, because RGV came out, got all guns blazing in the first few minutes. The Roughnecks, though, to be fair, have got it back a little bit and probably had the best chances on goal pop, although it's 0-0. RGV had a very good chance early on, but well done to the Roughnecks for getting themselves back into this game.
Well, and you look at teams that we've seen come in at ONEOK, and there hasn't been very many teams that we've seen that have come in and have pressed as high as what RGV did. I mean, the Roughnecks were having an extremely difficult time of being able to connect passes together there in the first opening, 15 minutes of that match. But once they settled in, I thought they did a great job.
They did. It was a very unusual beginning if you're a Roughnecks fan and you've been watching the Roughnecks here at ONEOK this season, because the Roughnecks are used to getting the ball right from the off and knocking it around and getting themselves into the game, dominating possession. But no, it wasn't to be. RGV came out, they really took it to the Roughnecks, but then, as we say, it tipped again towards the end of the first half.
Well, there was big news around the USL, and that is the rebranding of USL, and this fits and will usher in a brand new era here in the USL. And you can see here, and we'll start at the top with USL Championship. Reaches more than 35 markets, 84 million people in 2019. There's League One. It will debut in 2019, offering players a chance to compete in pro soccer. And League Two offers a path to pro soccer, and that's where 70% of MLS draftees have played there, Dave. And we'll just start at the bottom. It's League Two, previously known as the Premier Development League, will continue to flourish under its new banner and remain the standard for the pre-professional soccer in its role as path to pro for top players from across the United States and Canada. League One, which will begin play in spring of 2019, and the country's Division III league, will establish a strong foundation for the professional game in North America and bring the first chance for new fans to dance and sing for 90 minutes in markets that have waited for their chance to welcome professional soccer to their cities. And then USL Championship represents the pinnacle of USL. That's the ultimate goal for players, coaches, and fans and communities, all whom aspire for excellence both on and off the field, from international level players to top young talent in the United States and Canada. The championship is high-level competition with high-level ownership. So how do you like the branding, the new USL that we will see here moving forward?
I think it's tremendous. It reminds me of being back home in England, because, of course, you've got the Premiership, then you've got the Championship, League One, League Two, and I know they've kind of modelled it on that. It's very, very exciting. I think it gives lots of people opportunity. It gives it all meaning. It brings it all together. It is, what, as the name suggests, the United Soccer League, and I think it's really good for this country where we know soccer is booming, and the USL, they're leading the way.
I think it was the next step for the game here in our country. And for the first time in quite some time, the USL has come in and has organized everything from top to bottom. And it's been a vision. It's been a long path to get to this point. But I think it's another step in the right direction for the continued growth of this sport in our country, Dave.
It certainly is, and it's great timing, isn't it? We all know that the USA weren't in the last World Cup. They're now working towards, the next one. They've got the World Cup coming here to this country, along with Mexico and Canada, and it's just the right timing. And Jake Edwards is a great president, and I've spoken to him on a few occasions. He played in England. He knows the structure of the leagues, and I think this is a really good move and a great timing for it.
Let's look at some of the standings from the league. And the top of the table from both divisions here in USL as we get set to, well, almost close out the regular season. And there you see, we'll start on the Western Conference. You see there St. Louis and San Antonio right there. San Antonio has a little bit of ground to try to make up there, potentially to try to sneak into that 8th spot. But St. Louis is not going to let that one go. And Orange County and Phoenix with Sacramento and Real Monarchs, even though they've kind of fallen a little bit on a hard stretch here as of late, But those four teams have clearly shown, at least to me on the western side, that they are the best. FC Cincinnati has just kind of run away with things there on the eastern side, but don't count out the defending champs in Louisville City. Also the Riverhounds in the year that they've had, along with the Charleston Battery as well. And North Carolina FC, our friends there from the East Coast, sneaking in there right there at the number 8 spot right now on the eastern side.
Yeah, I like North Carolina FC. I went there with Swansea City in their pre-season a few years, as you know, and good to have them there.
It is good to have them there. There's a look at downtown Tulsa as tonight, Roughnecks and RGV still scoreless here through the first of 45 minutes. And what is the penultimate game here for the Roughnecks and also for RGV? And let's take a look at that out-of-town scoreboard, as keeping an eye on a handful of games coming up here this evening, including that big one with San Antonio. See there in the first half, St. Louis and San Antonio scoreless there. Colorado Springs and Phoenix with the 2-0 lead there at halftime. As a matter of fact, I believe those might have been scores from a previous week, so we apologize for that. We'll see if we can get the right scores coming up for you here coming up in a moment.
Well, I can tell you that the team San Antonio obviously are fighting with St. Louis. They're currently 0-0 with, I think they're playing Las Vegas, aren't they, in their last game. Darren Powell, the manager there, who we met up here. They faltered, haven't they, slightly, and they lost to the Roughnecks here 2-1 a few weeks ago, but it was still in their own hands. Might need a bit of luck to get over that line this season.
We'll take a timeout, come back with more of our halftime show. Coming up next, live from 1-0 Field, we're scoreless with RGV and the Tulsa Roughnecks. More to come after this break.
Your willingness to fight no matter what the odds. At Hillcrest, we believe every life is worth fighting for.
Shot at the skyline there from the city of Tulsa tonight here, where the Roughnecks and RGV are scoreless. We do have a few updates from some of the games that we're keeping an eye on. Las Vegas has that 1-0 lead against St. Louis there. I believe that one is at halftime. Nashville earlier today beat Richmond. That was a 3-0 game. And Red Bull 2 with the 2-1 win over North Carolina. There you see the games that are coming up a little bit later. Orange County and Seattle Sounders. That's a 7 o'clock Pacific time start. Los Dos and Sacramento, 7:30 on the West Coast. And Phoenix and Reno 1868, also 7:30 with their start. But that's an important one there for San Antonio. If they have any hopes whatsoever of sneaking into that final spot, they have to turn that score around there with Las Vegas. And San Antonio will be the next opponent for RGV to close out the regular season. Well, we'll have a look at some of the first half highlights coming up here in just 1 second from our game. And as a matter of fact, we're going to skip those highlights. So, Dave, let's talk for just a moment about what we saw from the Roughnecks once they did settle in. And I thought you brought up a good point in commentary about Vukovic and how important that he's been to the Roughnecks attack when he's been out wide and receiving those balls. He seemed to get a little bit more involved there in the last 10 minutes there that first half.
He did. It's an interesting formation, isn't it? 4-4-2. You know, Vukovic is playing left back. Tavares is left on the left-hand side, and really Vukovic had to, you know, go ahead of Tavares a little bit, which wasn't easy for him. Tavares also put in some good balls into the box. So, you know, the Roughnecks have been knocking on the door, but alas, 0-0. They finished that second half quite strongly.
We are almost set and ready to go for the second half kickoff here from One Oak. And we'll see who gets the first opportunity here in the second half to break this scoreless game wide open. Let's go down on the pitch to Brady Ballou and get some of his thoughts from the first half. Brady?
Well, first of all, I thought Small up top for RGV was brilliant in the first half. His hold-up play was second to none. They shied away from him the last 15 minutes of the game, so I think if the coaching staff might be on them to keep him involved, keep him interested. A guy like that can impact the game. For the Roughnecks, continue to be patient. I think it's going to be really important for the Roughnecks to invest one more player in the box on those crosses going forward. Guys like Vukovic, just pick one of those guys out, give the fans something to cheer for.
All right, thank you, Brady. We have a foul here in the early going. RGV looked to be wanting to try to start something there early, but heads-up play there from the Roughnecks to not allow that to happen. Dangerous spot here to open up here in the second half with this free kick. Hand raised, ball curling. Jonathan Levin, the first Roughneck player that was there to head that one free. Some space. Headed out of the box. This time from Jacinho.
Yeah, good defending from Levin, and then from Jacinho just there. Levin in the right place at the right time. The free kick came to nothing.
Battle here at RGV, still comes away with it. Touch here towards the byline. Little looping ball. Jacinho one more time. Gets to it first. Still with possession though are the Toros. Chewy splits the two defenders, finds his way through another one, and helping back is Josh Morton, who might have saved the day. Enriquez was headed directly towards that front post, and if Josh Morton didn't continue that hustle and fight back, RGV might have been able to break the ice here in the early going.
Yeah, and Josh Morton said he didn't get a touch on that. I think he did, but good defending from him.
They go short with the corner. Looping ball. Roughnecks winning those balls in the air, and that's been important here in the first several moments of the second half. Small. Left-footed blast. It was curling and rising at the same time. And he attacked. Put the head down, dribbled directly into the box. No imminent danger for Serta, but still an opportunity for the Toros here in the early going.
Yeah, and the coach has said something to them at half-time, which along the lines of, you know, really take it to the Roughnecks, and let's see what we can get in the first, you know, 5 or so minutes of this second half and see if we can settle in with a goal. They're really peppering the goal area, but alas, the Roughnecks are standing firm at the moment, but it's wave after wave of orange attacks at the moment.
A foul from behind. Vukovic throws his fist in a bit of anger off of that foul. Levin somehow spins free. His left-footed curling ball just glides over the top of Gamble. Back to retrieve it is Adams. Then a giveaway. Great ball played through. The flag is up. It was a quick bang-bang play. Right idea on the ball on the ground. Just a little curl there on the run from Rivas.
Yeah, just went too early. Good ball, good vision from Mirkovic, but couldn't quite get on the end of it, Rivas.
Tavares out. Header. No trouble for Serta.
I think the balance for the Roughnecks, we alluded to it in the first half, is much better with Tavares on the left and Parashi on the right. It's just Parashi's much more used to playing down the right. Tavares, I think we've said, is good on either wing and is very quick and will give any defender a problem.
From the corner, step over move, Small creates some space. Dangerous there. Off of Jacinho, sets up a corner now for RGV.
Yeah, Jacinho got himself in a bit of a tangle, but he'll be relieved to see the ball squirt away for another RGV corner. But good defending from the Roughnecks again.
Warden, the captain. Good ball played. Found its way free for just a moment off of one of the Tulsa players one more time. Now will come to the near side. Right-footed ball, near post, the header. Oh, and a brilliant finish from RGV. And they strike first in the 51st minute on the corner to the near post. And a fantastic finish.
And it's Pereira with his third of the season. And what a lovely near post header this is. You'll see the ball come in here. And look at that little run there, glancing at it just out of your shot. But what a fantastic little 5-yard run. And he had a very narrow window to get that in.
You know what I like about that, Dave, is that Pereira takes his hands, and we'll see here one more time, takes his hands, just a little bit of a touch there, enough on Paris to create some separation, slips in there behind the extra defender that's there, and it catches the Roughnecks essentially with semen on their boots.
That is not a foul, says the referee. That is just quality play. Just showing to anybody that's learning the game or been in the game a long time, actually. Just, you know, a 5-yard run, and you say a little push on the defender, perfectly legal, really, just trying to jostle for position as they come forward again.
Small is on. He gets there past Serta. Serta has to hurry back, and Small finishes it. And in a span of about 60 seconds, RGV has added another one after their initial goal. Carlos Small may be a bit banged up after that one. He's hobbling a bit, but he has put the Toros in front now by a score of 2-0. Right-footed finish for Carlos Small.
Yeah, you can see there on the Harsco and Tangsley Food replay there that was a quality finish. He just didn't give anything up. Serta didn't get anything on it. If he caught the player, it would have definitely been probably a yellow card for Serta and a penalty. But Brady Ballou, I think we can bring Brady in, can we, and just say that, you know, that's quality play from Small, who just didn't give up. 2 in a minute.
Yeah, it's absolute quality. It's composure. It's everything you want from a forward in that situation. Just calmly slotting that. He's essentially beaten 3 players there, I think, on Serta's side. I don't think he needs to come off his line in that situation. You've got 3 guys in the middle of the field, but, you know, you're going off instinct. You have a split second to make that decision. And on that first goal, if you're a young kid watching the game and you are on the post, you do not need to hug the post. You can stand a foot off the post. The Roughnecks had a man on the post in that situation. I'm sure the coaching staff of the Roughnecks will have a word with that young man. Take a step off the post, use your head, and nod that thing away from goal.
Yeah, it was Mirkovic on the post, wasn't it? Here's Vukovic at the other end. No.
Slams that ball directly at Nelson.
We have the benefit of seeing the replay, which Brady doesn't. I mean, it was a quality header, and it did come at Mirkovic and Serta. Brilliantly placed, but quite fast, didn't it? I mean, Mirkovic didn't have I take Brady's point. You know, you don't have to hug the post, but it did come at them quite quickly, didn't it?
It absolutely did. And how things can change in such a hurry in this game.
Well, it was barely a minute. It was the same minute, wasn't it, between the two goals? And I think Brady makes a good point again about Fabian Serda there coming out. Maybe he didn't need to come, but, you know, that's the life of a goalkeeper, isn't it? You're a hero 1 minute and then you come out and you make a mistake like that, you know. But credit small. I mean, he stood on his feet, didn't he? And he did extremely well. 2-0.
Saw the stat there, RGV 7-5-4 when they score first. Roughnecks have only capitalized with 1 win when they've scored first so far this season.
Yeah, another quick shout out to Small in that situation. So many players are likely to go down in that situation when a keeper comes out with 2 feet. So good to see a young guy like that play through the challenge. Messi would be proud. Somewhere he's smiling.
I believe we'll see our first sub coming up here in a few moments for Tulsa.
Yeah, I think it's been that kind of fair game tonight, isn't it? The people have stayed on their feet and, you know, both teams have, in effect, you know, playing just for the 3 points tonight. The Roughnecks, I guess, don't want to finish bottom of the league, do they? So they've got the big basement battle next week to finish off the season against Seattle Sounders 2. Free kick against the Roughnecks. But I think, mainly it's been, you know, okay, players have gone down when they're fouled like that, but it's been a good fair game.
Speaking of Messi, how about that finish, Brady, in Champions League?
Man, he just doesn't stop, does he?
He does not.
He doesn't stop for anybody.
Here's the sub. This will be Isaac Diaz, who will make his way on for Jonathan Levin. Diaz was a late addition to the Roughnecks, July 21st, after he spent time in Las Vegas earlier this season. Spent some time with Ticos in Mexico. Over 60 appearances there in Mexico. And has flashed signs since he's been here in Tulsa.
Yes, Roughnecks fans will tell you about when Isaac Diaz scored his goal and ended up running into the seeing his family a few rows back. Got a yellow card for his troubles, but it was a fine goal.
Coach Insian had the line of the season that next day on the coaches show and said he had told Isaac that he needs to do a better job of getting better seats for his family.
Yeah, he went
to celebrate with them.
He went quite a way back, didn't he? Here's the foul by Vukovic. That's just a bit of frustration, I'm sure, from Vukovic. He's wearing the long sleeve shirts in the second half, along with his compatriot, Mr. Mirkovic. Long sleeve shirts for them.
You can sense that season changing, can't you? A little warm here this week. Referee stops the flow of play, awards the foul to the Roughnecks.
Coach not happy there in your shot.
Back out to Vukovic, left-footed ball. Diaz settles. Little bump from behind there. Somehow Gamble comes away with it. Tavares on the run from Gamble, the goal! Tulsa has pulled back within one, and it's the finish from Joaquin Rivas. Oh, and that is just pure hustle, Dave Saunders, and I'll give all the credit in the world there to Diaz and Gamble for keeping that alive in the center of the pitch.
Yep, where cleats flying around, and they absolutely persisted. And in the end, it's a tap-in for Rivas, who will take those any day of the week. There is Tavares. This is later on in the build-up. And there is Gamble there. And look at that. Puts it on a plate for his friend. 2-1. We have a game.
Left-footed ball there from Gamble. Off of the service from Tavares. And Rivas with the finish there on the back post. Brilliant bit of play that is not made possible without the hustle of Isaac Diaz. And then Gamble, who was also in the middle of that fight. How about the awareness on the run?
Oh, yeah. Fantastic run and brilliant awareness from Eti Tavares, as you say. I mean, it just shows you again that, you know, yes, we see flashes of brilliance. We see 35-yard strikes go in the top corner every now and again in this wonderful game played worldwide. But a lot of it is about what I call the bread and butter. It's the hustle that you do in the middle of the field that wins that. And you quite rightly said it was Diaz and Gamble that kept the move going, doing those unsung hero bits of work. Brilliant from them too.
Corner. Ball came in hot. That's the 12th goal of the year, by the way, from Joaquin Rivas. Diaz keeps it in play. Might have been a shout for hand. Roughnecks will continue to play on.
Diaz has made a big difference since coming on. Obviously, he's a different type of player from Jonathan Levin, and Coach Ensign at 2-0 down had to make some kind of attacking change, and that's what he's done. Diaz is an attacking midfielder. It leaves Mirkovic in there kind of on his own, but that's the game plan now from the Roughnecks.
Ontiveros all the way back now for Connor Donovan. Little press here from the Roughnecks. Find the goal scorer in small. Roughnecks now have some space in front of them. Here's Diaz cutting to his right. Good defending there from Warden, the captain. Just enough to knock Diaz off of the ball. And now a goal kick coming up here in the 62nd minute. You can get the best photography from around the league, plus highlights and updates throughout the week on the USL's official Instagram feed by following us at instagram.com/USL Soccer.
Yeah, Wharton does a lot of that unsung hero work, doesn't he?
He does.
In the middle of the captain, and he just said to Diaz, "You are not going anywhere, my friend." And he just blocked him off, and the result is a goal kick, as we hear that it's now 1-1 down in San Antonio. San Antonio 1, Las Vegas Lights 1. It is half-time. Guzman got the equalizer. Prolific goal scorer he is.
There are some eyeballs in St. Louis watching that game in San Antonio. Good ball played in from the back line. Morton.
Tremendous ball from Mirkovic. Tremendous ball from Josh Morton. And we saw a goal, a tap in from Rivas, but there was nobody on the end of that cross.
Good Rivas with his back posted up to the goal. Unlucky there for Paris G. RGV almost caught the Roughnecks.
It's a weird kind of game, isn't it? Because, you know, the Roughnecks finished the first half on top and went in 0-0. 2 quick goals from the away side. Now an equaliser on the cards, maybe for the Roughnecks. It's an end-to-end game. It's an entertaining game.
I'll have another sub coming up here in a few moments. Tavares Well done there from the keeper to block that one away. Rivas was looking for number 13. Finally out of the box for the Toros. Diaz tracks this one down all the way back to the midfield line.
Great pressure from the Roughnecks there. Again, a couple of opportunities. Tavares was there, but great defending again, you have to say.
Reminds you the first 10 minutes or so of what RGV was doing. And Isaac Diaz has been that spark. And so far, it was great seeing Levin back, but that is so much of the game, Dave, to me is based upon what you do with your subs. And so far, that has been a brilliant call from Coach Incian.
Absolutely. I was gonna say, here's the
There's
shot.
A shot.
Diaz, yeah. I was going to say, you know, you credit the person that comes on, but let's credit the coach before, because he's the person that's got to make it happen. We're going to see
the youngster, DJ Dean.
Yeah, coming on, another attacking substitute. As you would expect, you know, the Roughnecks, nothing to play for. Same with RGV, so I'm sure we're going to see subs coming in and trying to win this game. The Roughnecks, of course, trailing 2-1 at the moment.
We'll have a switch for RGV as well. Referee calls the foul, and that will give an opportunity now for the switch.
Vukovic has got to be a little bit careful here. He's a little bit annoyed about some of the calls. The referee's just going to come across and tell him to calm down, and he kind of puts his hands behind his back and tries to be respectful, but he's got to be careful. It's frustrating.
This will be Andres Cabrera being subbed out for RGV. The swap for the Roughnecks will be DJ Dean for Josh Morton. On for RGV is Hernandez.
Looks to me like Paris G has gone into the right back spot vacated by Josh Morton, and DJ Dean will play wide on the right, just ahead of Paris G.
Direct ball played down the center of the pitch from that free kick. No trouble for Serta in the back line here in the 67th. So we'll see what type of spark that the youngster DJ Dean can provide for Tulsa.
Foul on Diaz, easy one for the referee to give there. Diaz caught from behind. Roughnecks want to get on with it quickly.
Quick start. Bit too much on that attempt. DJ Dean, by the way, just 19. Local product from Union, one of the high schools here in the Tulsa Metroplex.
And again, you know, we talked about Josh Morton in the first half, just been substituted as a bright spot, you know, from this season. I think DJ Dean's done well. He's coming in, taking his chance in his first professional, you know, minutes that he's been able to get underway this season. So, you know, there are pluses.
Here is DJ's first touch on the ball. Back to G. Now Mirkovic. Diaz there. Gamble. Out wide for Paris G. Long cross, too much for Tavares. Can he track it down in enough time? He does. Saves it there with Vukovic. And Vukovic earns a foul, much to the dismay of Aguilar.
Paris G's just overhit his last couple of crosses, hasn't he? just putting the Roughnecks, you know, under a bit of pressure on the other side when he crosses from right to left. I think Vukovic got a foul there. And Diaz will take the free kick when the two-man wall's back.
Referee will come over with the magic spray. Mark off the 10 yards. Diaz's ball, searching for that far post. Still free.
Yeah, Mikovic driving the ball back in there, and he's gone across to take the throw in. Don't see many of these. This is a collector's item from Mikovic. So in fact, he's not going to take it, but driving the ball back in there again. RGV standing firm at the back.
Unlucky there from Diaz. Both hands immediately went to the face there from the mistake. And a goal kick now for Mr. Nelson. You can watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. Tavares, can he run through it? Just more hustle from Etty.
He's so quick, isn't he? I'm just quickly thinking of other players. I'm sure there are fans screaming at the screens when I say this. You know, there aren't many faster than Etty Tavares that I've seen in the whole league.
Dean couldn't collect that one. Came back to him in a hurry.
Brady Ballou, this is a very attacking formation that Coach Entien's got on the field now for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, it's a bit of one-way traffic in the last 15 minutes. It's a good change from Coach Entien and the Roughnecks staff. You know, kudos to Josh Morton, everything he's done, not only tonight, but all season. But getting DJ Dean involved is only showing the initiative that the Roughnecks want to get a point minimum here tonight. And so now the match is only going to get a little bit testier in these next 20 minutes.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here. And if there's any type of testiness, Mirkovic is going to be involved.
You don't say?
Always has to make his presence known.
I've always appreciated that about Mirkovic. No matter what crest is on his chest, what colors he's wearing, who he's playing for, he takes it serious. He's got a lot of pride, and I love watching the guy play.
Nifty there from Diaz. Dean feeds it back to him. A turn from Gamble. Just surrounded by orange shirts. Not much space at all. That ball almost saved. They're going to point in favor of RGV.
Yeah, it's a good tackle from Jacinho, wasn't it? And just before that, a great attack again. Dean and Diaz linking up well inside the box.
Little shove there on Sullivan.
And I don't think the Roughnecks, you know, if you're Roughnecks fans, you don't want this, do you? You don't want the game to be broken up like this. You know, 2-1 down, you want to keep it flowing, keep the attacks coming. And at the moment, it's just stop-start a little bit.
Sullivan has to play this ball back. Trying to find some advantage forward, just couldn't. Bit more of that possession game, tight-knit passing here from the Toros. Foul here in the center of the pitch. Brady going back to the Diaz sub. I mean, it is clear here as got a little shove there from Mirkovic. It is clear that the Diaz sub has worked, and if you just count the number of touches that Diaz has had compared to Jonathan Levin, Brady Ballou.
The guy's been everywhere. I mean, just immediately we noticed how often he's getting himself involved in the game. He's injected that life. He wants to be on the ball, whether that means getting it at the half line in between the center backs or inside the 6-yard box or threading a ball in between the lines. The guy's trying to really play. He's trying to make things happen. Not to say that's not necessarily Jonathan Levin's role in the team.
At all, and I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Not only that, but his first action since July 7th. I mean, there's a process to kind of get back involved.
It takes time and it takes confidence, first and foremost. You've got to believe in your body no matter what kind of injury you're coming back from. That's mentally, that can be a big barrier. But for what Diaz has been asked to do tonight, he's been great.
Driven ball well over the top of the bar. Dave, Mirkovic may be on his last warning tonight.
I was just thinking that, you know.
I think that might be the last word there from Daniel Chesky, our referee tonight, with Mr. Mirkovic.
Although, to be fair, you know, Connor Donovan came from a long way away, the number 20, the centre-back for RGV to get involved. And there was a little bit of pushing and shoving, but I think you're right. I think patience in the end will be tested for the referee, and Mirkovic's got to be careful.
He is a warrior. When things are starting to get just a little bit more. Now Rivas comes over with a little shove. Mirkovic right back in the middle of that. Diaz slapped the ball away. I think the Roughnecks were getting a little bit tiresome of maybe some of the stall tactics there from RGV. Mirkovic being called over now. Having a word there from Warden as well. I'm a little bit surprised there that we didn't see the yellow displayed, Dave. But, you know, give the referee credit tonight for setting the tone and not allowing things to really get out of hand.
Well, and I like a referee that will, you know, give players every single chance, and she's calmed things down really well. Sometimes you get a referee running across at a player with the card already out of his back pocket, you know, so I think that's quality refereeing, to be honest, to calm everybody down.
DJ Dean's left-footed ball has earned a corner, a Metro PCS corner kick for the Roughnecks. Metro PCS wireless figured out. Not many of those tonight so far for the Tulsa side. We'll have a sub for RGV. This will be swap 9 for 10. So Monroy comes on for Aguilar. Roughnecks also with a sub of their own. That's Covarrubias on for Mirkovic. And that will actually be the first one that is completed. So Mirkovic's night is done. Here's the corner.
And I think that's very level-headed, sensible coaching from Coach Ensian. Because as we said, Mirkovic was on his last warning.
I think it's probably important to note I have a great view here of the bench, and Mirkovic came off with a little bit of a smile on his face, knowing he was towing the line on that one. His teammates, you know, giving him a high five, telling him.
79th minute.
And it will will be a straight swap, won't it? Covarrubias there, the number 57, didn't start the game in Reno, but he had started alongside Minkovic in several games before that.
Roughnecks this season excited to sponsor with Titan Sports and Performance Centers, the official training center for the Roughnecks. You can check out their website for more information on what Titan has to offer, titansportscomplex.com.
Are you looking forward to the English Premiership tomorrow morning, my friend?
Oh, there might be a game that is rather important in the morning.
You're talking about the 6 o'clock Oklahoma time of Fulham versus Arsenal,
of course. Absolutely talking about that one. There might be just a little match later on in the morning.
Two best teams in the English Premiership at the moment, Liverpool and Manchester City.
Man, what a game in the early stages of the season, Dave.
Yeah.
Incredible. Tavares cuts back to the inside. And a foul. Roughnecks bailed out. RGV looked to be off to the races, as it was Gamble, the victim here. Yeah, just a little knock from behind. Sets up a great opportunity. It's Vukovic, who we've primarily seen in these instances. Covarrubias also alongside, but now will step off, as this will be a big chance for Vukovic to potentially make things level. Deep breath. Vukovic, driven ball, comes off of the wall. There's G. Back for Gamble. Corner now. It's a nice ball that just continued to carry. Defender had to get there first.
Certainly.
Metro PCS corner. Metro PCS wireless figured out. Low driven ball. We've seen better efforts there from 82.
Yeah, Noy with himself there, just at a time with, 8 minutes to go, and your size 2-1 down, he needs to get a better ball in. He looks to the skies. Vukovic, as he runs back there, he knows by his own standards that's not what the doctor ordered. As we hear that San Antonio taking a lead 2-1 against Las Vegas Lights, and a little thing we didn't say earlier on, the goal for Las Vegas was scored by one Sammy Ochoa.
Mr. Samuel.
A former Roughnecks player, of course.
All-time leading goal scorer in Roughnecks history. He's had another productive season for himself there in Las Vegas. The rain has started to fall here in Tulsa. And that's about the window that we expected tonight with some of the weather. Tavares almost knocked off the ball. Diaz. Etsy got turned around right at the edge of the 18.
It looks like everybody's going home, but all they're doing is getting undercover, of course.
Off the deflection, the blast. This will bounce out. Covarrubias had to tee himself up. Wharton closed and closed quickly.
Yeah, he just took too much time, quite frankly, didn't he? And Wharton did what every good central midfielder would do and shut down the guy that's just about to shoot.
Those look like big raindrops, Dave.
Yes, they are, aren't they? Just 7 minutes to go.
Cleared out. RGV now will push forward. rain has definitely picked up. Just a steady pouring here. Diaz, Gamble now turns. Tried to take advantage of that space, just had it knocked away from him.
I think Vukovic will get a yellow card. I think the referee's patience. Well, can't believe the decision, but I can, because he's been had a few decisions tonight. There's the pullback, and that just in that pulling of the shirt these days is a yellow card in itself.
Replays tonight brought to you by Harsco, harscojobs.com, and Tankersley Food Service. Forgot to mention, Dave, at halftime, welcome El Paso into USL Championship level next year, 2019. Locomotive FC.
Great name. And welcome to them. Yeah, it goes from strength to strength. Lots of teams joining.
Also the Tampa Bay Rays purchasing the Tampa Rowdies. That announcement was made on Tuesday. This play there from Covarrubias gives up possession now. RGV can run a few more ticks off of that clock. And they're going to continue to press. That was a well-taken ball there from Small. Well done from Fabian Serta.
Yeah, stood his ground. Fabian Serta made an all-important save, but as you say, Small looking dangerous, wanting his second goal of the night. Here they come again, RGV.
Referee says play on. Monroy tried to sell that one, but did not gain the advantage.
And the rain seems to have stopped. Strange old day, isn't it?
Roughnecks now with a chance off of the giveaway. RGV wants to fit in one more switch before this one is closed out. Diaz to Gamble. Vukovic, curling ball.
Well, I think it was Kyle Adams with a stooping header there. He's had a pretty good game at the back for me, and really important header away there, or it could have been 2-2.
RGV's kind of set back in those two lines there now.
Yeah, trying to see the game out in a professional manner.
Anything that they can do, close it out. Covarrubias, DJ Dean now. Just some space that's there. Ball played in. And a goal kick now. Nelson. That one was close, and maybe one of the better opportunities that the Roughnecks would have here in the last couple of moments as we see the replay here. Left foot ball played in. Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson
close.
Did well, but we said earlier on it's really important that Vukovic, the man in shot there, you know, has good delivery, and that was one of his better balls into the box, and it wasn't far away from being the equaliser.
You can get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. It's the Green Country Ball Kids.
I think Small had an issue there inside the centre circle, just being attended to there.
He had been hobbling even after his first goal. And on that second attempt, he looks like he pulled something. the change has been made now. Castellanos on for Carlos Small, who as of right now has the game winner in the 52nd. Collected by Munoz. Fourth will show stoppage time here in a moment as the board setting there to his left. Vukovic driving ball. And it will be 4 minutes shown on the board. Flag is up on the near side. They caught Chewy.
Well, is there one last opportunity? You normally get one last good opportunity. Will the Roughnecks get that, and will they be able to convert it tonight to get a point?
And you know they should get the majority of the possession here, considering how deep that RGV has fallen back. Be an opportunity for several chances now for the Roughnecks, but a ball like that is easily picked off, this is what can happen. Sullivan saw that one. Joaquin Rivas had to get to that ball. He does. And Tulsa now with Vukovic up over the halfway line. Tavares to Gamble. Good ball from Gamble. Tavares is there. The keeper was off of his line. Roughnecks just didn't have anyone there to get a touch on it. It would have been an open net.
And there was the man Adams again, Kyle Adams, to me, has had a great game at the back, and he was there at the right place at the right time again. Or as you say, it would have been a tap-in. Good work from Tavares. Got around the keeper.
Throw in now. Should have somewhere in the vicinity of about 2 minutes left. Not officially panic time. Here's a replay on that, Dave. What a ball from Gamble. Yeah, Diaz was the closest one that was there, and he was 4 or 5 paces off. Patience from Tavares, the shot! Oh, the keeper went to his left.
Well, there's still Vukovic in there. There's a header over, but as I said a few moments ago, you normally get one last chance, and that is an outstanding save from Nelson. We'll see on the replay here, that is an unbelievable save to keep your side in the hunt for 3 points.
Unbelievable to have the wherewithal at that moment, just the instant reaction, Dave, just pure instincts at that point. He knows he has to go to the ground. He does so to keep it a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you pay for, isn't it, as a goalkeeper? You know, you've got to be in the game for 90 minutes, 92 minutes, 93 minutes. You know, that's a great save. That was the opportunity for the Roughnecks. They may not get another one.
Well, they've had 2 in this span of stoppage time so far. Maybe one last effort here, but they've got to get possession of the ball back. Well, you thought there that Monroy might try to take that one to the corner. Will Enriquez do the same thing? Now he'll cut towards the byline there. We'll push off from Monroe and Covarrubias now, and this might be the last gasp effort.
Yeah, you're right about the two RGV players. Their opportunity is taken in the corner, but here's Tavares at the other end.
Tavares there, just couldn't link up. Sliding effort and the throw in, and RGV will take their time. And this might be it. That will do it. The visitors from South Texas have made their way to One Oak Field and will leave with a 2-1 win here over the Roughnecks. And that improves their record here over the last 6. Dave, 4 wins in their last 6 matches.
Yeah, they've come away with a 2-1 victory here. They've just got one more game now away at San Antonio, which could, you know, make or break San Antonio's quest for the top 8. So still much to play for them. They've come out narrow winners here tonight. The Roughnecks will feel a little bit aggrieved they didn't get something out of it, but credit RGV, who really took the game, you know, especially early on, to them. And, you know, 2 goals in a minute really killed the Roughnecks off. The Roughnecks did have those chances right near the end, didn't they, that they could have, you know, got snatched a point. But alas, on the day, it's RGV who go away with the 3.
Well, the Roughnecks continue to fight, continue to press forward, and we've got a little bit of extracurricular activity here down on the pitch. That's Small that was involved in that. Not quite sure exactly what was said. Well, you hate to see that.
I think
the 2 teams try to make their way off.
Uzi Teo was acting as peacemaker there as well.
Uzi is an intimidating force. He's a big guy. I think he could be a good peacemaker for certain.
Yeah, you're right. It was Small and Mirkovic, I think.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights here from this one here tonight, Dave, with the Roughnecks falling 2-1 to RGV on goals from Pereira and Carlos Small. And Tavares here. And that's the header that was early on that was just missed.
Yeah, Paris G with the header just over there. And then we had a wild shot from Gamble after he did all the hard work. And then here's Vukovic with that trusty left foot into the box, but nothing doing there. Nelson with an easy catch.
Here's a free kick attempt from Vukovic. Great save there from Nelson, the keeper, who had to have the quick reactions. Then watch this goal here.
Well, that's all about the little run, isn't it? They're going forward, and that was Pereira there. His 3rd goal of the season. It's all about the run and the little glancing header.
The run there, slipped inside 11. Here's Small on the goal as Serta came off of his line. And just hard work there from Carlos Small to finish there on the near post to give him the 2-goal lead, and ultimately that was the winner. Here's Tavares and Gamble. And just a brilliant ball from Michael Gamble there, and Rivas with the finish.
Yeah, this is Tavares' ball there to Gamble was quality. And then that was a quality ball in and a tap in for Rivas. Then here come the Roughnecks late on, headed away, and there's a shot from Diaz that Diaz made, you know, a difference when he came on. But then late on, it was RGV that had a chance, and good save from Serta.
DJ Dean here with Vukovic. Good save again from Nelson. And one last opportunity here. Tavares. Diaz was the closest person that was there. Roughnecks weren't quite done yet. And that ends up wrapping it up here from One Oak Field. The Roughnecks will remain on 21 points. RGV FC and the Toros will move to 37. And Dave, we've got one more left next week with S2 coming in here next Saturday to close out the 2018 USL season for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, it seems to be a familiar thing, doesn't it? That it's always Seattle Sounders too on the last day of the season. I think it happened last year in the regular season. And, you know, it'll be a fight for, you know, who finishes bottom of the league. The Roughnecks by their own standards tonight, will want to pick that up slightly. They didn't dominate possession as we know they can do. They did get back in the game, but ultimately the 2 goals in a minute killed them off tonight, and RGV, take the 3 points.
I want to say thanks to our great sponsors for helping make this happen, from Court Furniture Rental and making the Roughnecks players feel at home here at Tulsa, and Case & Associates. You can look to them for all your apartment needs at caseusa.com. And from Soccer City to Titan, the Tulsa Bone & Joint, the YMCA, and even New Balance, the official provider for the Roughnecks. Thank you to all of you, and thank you to those of you that tuned in this evening from ESPN Plus and Cox YourView. For Brady Ballou, doing a great job pitch side this evening, and my friend Dave Saunders, as we will come to you next Saturday live here from One Oak to close out the 2018 regular season. Final score for the final time: Roughnecks fall here this evening to RGV 2-1. I'm Jeremy Poplin saying have a good night from all of us here in downtown Tulsa.
100 years, Tulsa has trusted Hillcrest Medical Center. Decades of innovation, inspiration, and passion have positioned Hillcrest as a premier hospital in Tulsa. It takes more than just medicine to save a life. It takes courage, patience, and determination. Thank you for a century of trust and the privilege to serve you. Hillcrest Medical Center, serving Oklahoma for 100 years.
Your Tulsa Roughnecks are back for the final home match of the 2018 season this Saturday at One Oak Field. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. as the Roughnecks take on the Seattle Sounders 2. The first 500 fans in the stadium will receive a Roughnecks pop socket courtesy of Osage Casino. Join in on the fun and visit roughnecksfc.com to purchase your tickets. Vamos, Tulsa!
Today we're here to talk about trucks.
I love trucks.
Whoa. What truck brand comes from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickups on the road?
I think it's a Chevy.
Ford.
It's not Ford.
I think it's Ram.
It's not Ram either.
It's Chevy.
Gorgeous. Get a total value of $8,000 on this Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Plus, trade up and get an additional $1,750 cash allowance. Chevy drives Oklahoma. Find new roads.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Supermercados Morelos has the perfect ingredients for you to enjoy. T-bone steak as well as carne asada and specials every week to have an unforgettable time this season. Only with Supermercados Morelos.
Only excellence passion to serve you is our mission. Only with Morelos, the new tradition.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.